Hey, what's up guys? Reporting live from Aguadilla, Puerto Rico, here at Playa Blanco Pena, or Pena Blanco. It's a beautiful beach here. Needless to say, as you can see, there's a little cave behind me. There's several caves down the coastline, but more importantly, we got the beach right here. Look how gorgeous it is. I never can get enough of this beach, man. And ooh, that almost got the kicks. It almost got the kicks. But needless to say, guys, what we're gonna do today is gonna be kind of unlike any other videos. We typically do a lot of vlogging on this channel and just time around faith and family and adventure. But today I want to do a little comparison video between we would say Medellin Colombia, where we've been living the past almost year now, and Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is where my wife is from, so this is her home country, well, island to be exact. It's a territory of the United States. It is beautiful. There's so much that this island provides that it's just breathtaking and wonderful. And I just want to share with you guys some of the differences that are super clear between Medellin Colombia and Puerto Rico. Is going to blow your mind. And I think that if you just take a moment and hear me out throughout this video, you'll be like, wow, this is why I need to visit Medellin. This is why I need to visit Puerto Rico. And there's so many similarities, but the differences I think will blow your mind. So stay tuned. Let's get into it. Let go. All right, guys, the first thing I'll start by talking about is the kindness of the people. If we talk about Medellin and Puerto Rico, Medellin, people from Medellin are known as Pisas, but people from here in Puerto Rico are known as boricuas. So both of the people are warm, hospitable, kind, and you can sense a strong sense of community when it comes to family, but also just welcoming visitors and allowing them to become family. But one thing that I can say about Medellin Colombia, it wins. It gets an A+ at this, because no matter who you meet on the streets or in business alike, whatever endeavor that you're doing there, you can feel a sense of just belonging, because people are so receptive to people that aren't from there. But also, you won't see Colombians arguing and fighting and going off on each other as much as you will see it here in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico still gets a B+ at this, but it's not known to me to be as kind as the people of Medellin Pisas. However, Puerto Ricans, you can trust them a little bit more when it comes to business, because they're a little bit more straightforward and real and authentic. Not saying that Pisas aren't real, because they very much are. They're awesome people that literally take pride in their heritage and culture and the heart behind their culture. However, I found that here I can almost take business more serious, because people won't look to like screw you over as much, because it's not as much poverty here in Puerto Rico as it is in Medellin Colombia. So that's probably a couple of the things I want to share with you guys about that. Just know there are crimes, so no places are perfect with perfect people. There are your bad apples in the bunch. So I would like to just be very clear and say, if you come to a place like Puerto Rico, you can go out and have fun at night. You can go do the nightlife thing. That's personally not my taste. I'll spend a little bit of time, I'm in the parenting years with my wife and our kids, so we're usually home by 9 o'clock latest. And you can feel good about going out around 9 o'clock here. Solid, it's great. However, in Medellin, you got to be very careful when you go out, to be very wise. You can't just walk in streets after dark by yourself, because you could be a target. People are looking for a quick come up out there, and you can easily be robbed. That's why you can't wear like gold chains and necklaces. It's a lot of petty crime, but I've never felt as safe just walking the streets during the day anywhere as I feel in Medellin Colombia. It's not bad at all. I've been in way worse places like Miami, Chicago, like even there's some parts of even Dallas, Texas that I'm like, I'm looking over my shoulder, because You don't know when someone's gonna pop off. And even these days, whenever you're in sort of America in general, it can be very dangerous because you got people shooting up schools. I mean, you never can trust anywhere that you are in America. So you just gotta feel this strong sense of ask for this strong sense of wisdom. I ask God, I read the Bible, like I do what it says, and I'm very mindful of the people I surround myself with. I don't know about you, but I just want to encourage you in that. So the difference between Colombia, at nighttime, you can go out there, you can do your thing, but you got to be very careful, very prudent and mindful, and try to stick in groups at nighttime. Out here, you don't have to worry about that, but what you do got to worry about is being at the wrong place, wrong time. Drug and gun violence is huge out here in Puerto Rico in specific places. We've been here probably 2-3 weeks, and right down the street at a gas station from where we're staying, there was actually a person who shot up a car, and I want to say one of the people died in the car, but it was dealing with drugs, and you just can't control where you and your family are going to be at a certain time, but you can mitigate by just being wise and open up your eyes and knowing your surroundings. So that's what I would say is a little bit different about Puerto Rico and Medellin. Is Puerto Rico, the drug and gun violence is a little bit more like puts you at risk, but it's not as bad as if you were, you know, just don't associate yourself with that. You got to be very mindful. The second one, Medellin, you just have to always don't give papaya. That's the saying out there in Medellin, like don't give someone a reason to mess with you or to rob you, you know, by wearing this latest and greatest Fendi, Dolce & Gabbana. All this stuff is an attraction for people to make you think, so they can perceive that you have money, but you don't want to draw that kind of attention. Don't give them papaya. Don't give them a reason to rob you. You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right, let's move on. Let's compare a few places that you can visit when you visit Medellin, Colombia, and a few places you can visit when you visit Puerto Rico. Now, I give Medellin, Colombia, I would say an A- at this, because there's so much there that you can't find anywhere else, I feel like, in the world. You have so many artists. The artistic level is at a whole nother level. There's so many people that go there as artists, as musicians. It's literally, if you can go and really become successful doing your artwork in Medellin, Colombia, you can do it everywhere. It's like the gateway to Latin America, literally, because you can impact so many other people. If you can reach Medellin, you can reach the whole Latin America and the world, I believe. So with that being said, one of the places that I love going to go see some of the artwork and some of the people's talent, famous artists and different things like that. You have some of the best designers living in Medellin, but it's called Comuna 13, and we'll get some videos showing right here. But needless to say, it's famous for the vibrant streets that it has, that it's cultivated, and also its rich history. It has a powerful history. It was one of the worst places in the world, and then it was transformed into this gem that you can see it as today. Literally one of the worst neighborhoods easily in Medellin, easily in Colombia, and I would say it would compete with any dangerous neighborhood in the world, and now it's been transformed. So I'd love sharing about that. The next place in Medellin, Colombia that I would highly suggest is Parque RV. It's a nature reserve with outdoor activities, and you can do eco tours. If you know about Medellin or Colombia in general, it's the #1 biodiverse sort of place. Well, actually, I think it's in the top 3, not #1. However, there's so many different species and wildlife and just living things that you couldn't even think to see it somewhere else, because Medellin offers this perfect climate for all these different things to live, these living things, everything from plant to animals to insects to all types of things that you won't see anywhere else. So it's incredible. What I would also say is Plaza Botero. There's sculptures, there's museums of Antioquia. So all you folks that like more of the more stoic, slower, like just amusement that's more historical and fact sort of centric, you would love to go see that. And there's a creative element to that as well. You can really experience more people, because I believe this place is near El Centro, so you'll get a feel for the actual Medellin, not the tourist side. There's tons of actual people who are from the area that really migrate there and set up shop and open up stores and do their thing there. So you get a real taste of what Medellin is all about in the central hub. Okay, so let me name a few places, and I will say Puerto Rico, when it comes to places, I would give Puerto Rico an A- as well. The first thing I would say is El Yunque. El Yunque National Forest is beautiful. We just was able to experience this as a family, and we had such an amazing time. You can expect for it to rain. It is a real rainforest. It will rain while you're there, but no worries, because usually rain passes really quickly there. But just a cool fact about El Yunque is it's the only tropical rainforest in the United States forest system. So literally, there is no other rainforest that you can visit that is on soil that is territory of the United States except for El Yunque. So you want to put that in your bag, put it underneath your belt, saying, I've done this, I've achieved this. So another place that you want to visit when you visit here in Puerto Rico is Old San Juan, of course. That's the historic spot, the historic district with the colorful homes. It has colorful stores, tiendas, and restaurants. It is gorgeous. It's also made with, what do they call it, cobblestone streets, to where the stones in the street has this cool sound when a car drives by. You hear do 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 do. You know, those type of streets, which is really cool. And it's a beautiful place that you would want to bring your family to experience. However, just be ready to spend some money if you go there. My favorite parts of Puerto Rico personally is outside of the tourist zones, like really diving into what even the locals haven't explored themselves. There are places where there's locals that have never visited parts of, and I love exploring places that are outside of my comfort zone, outside of the popular thing, especially for tourists, and immersing myself in a culture that I've always wanted to know even more about and discover, and have an adventure outside of what's popular. So with that being said, another place you would want to visit that I would personally suggest is Arecibo, which is a beach that's here. That is my favorite beach. I know a lot of people would say Vieques, which is a stunning island with this bioluminescent base and things like that. But for me personally, I love to stick right on the island and just go to some really family-friendly beaches in Arecibo. Arecibo is my favorite. Look it up, just Google it. I'm telling you, I'll put some links down below for you to check it out. All right, guys, hope that helped a ton. That just gives you an idea of some of the places that you can visit. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, our hope and our idea behind getting our family to this island is, yes, to visit my wife's family because she's from here, yes, but we also want them to be beach boys. We want them to be able to jump out and sort of explore, you know, what an island has to offer, because it's so much. And I want them to be a part of something that could seem so small, but yeah, it's the handiwork of God. God meticulously made here Puerto Rico, and he has an amazing plan for Puerto Rico. I don't think we'll personally like live here anytime soon. However, I want them to be a part of this in a huge way, because it is a big part of them. They're half Puerto Rican and boricua, so I want them to know about their island. So needless to say, let's talk a little bit about Medellin when it comes to the places that offers there. You're in a valley, so you're like tucked deep in this valley, and what's tough about Medellin is, like, when you're there, you can't just easily get out and drive to a beach, or you can't go off to some place, you know, that's really more than like 2 to 3, 4 hours without knowing that you're about to put yourself into some stuff. Like, it's not easy on a transportation level, especially with a family. So with that being said, I'm so thankful. I just want to state this. I'm so thankful that Medellin has been set up in such a way where it's extremely family friendly, but it has this city within a jungle feel to where you feel like you're away, even though you're in the middle of a city that holds, I want to say there's probably 5 million people in Medellin, Colombia, 3 to 5 million people in the city of Medellin. So it's like a New York City tucked in a jungle. Just think of it like that. But needless to say, guys, I love my city. I love where we live. We didn't make a mistake in choosing that, but let me keep going through this comparison. Next thing I'll talk about is food. Food. I know some of you guys just got really excited, but the food that you can eat in Medellin. Well, let's start with Medellin first. They have a Pisa Plate. This Pisa Plate is a super healthy platter. It's like their signature plate. I think it's called bandeja Pisa Plata, something like that. But needless to say, it's a healthy platter with beans. You got rice, you got eggs on it. There's avocado, chicharon. Chicharon is very popular. It's mi comida favorito en el mundo ahora. It's muy bien, muy bien. I love it so much, guys. And there's much more that's added into that dish. Some people put a lime on it and spread over the food. So it is their signature plate. I really love it. The main thing I love on that plate is the egg, and also chicharon. Now, the second, I would say, famous thing about Colombia and what they offer as far as foods is arepas, which is like a cornmeal style cake, often served with cheese or meat. Now, I'm not a big fan of arepas, just to be very honest with you, but there are some really good ones that I've tried. I'm just not a big fan. Overall, I've been more dissatisfied than satisfied when I eat them, and it's just not really my thing. You know, write down in the comments below what's your favorite dish from Colombia, or the favorite food that you may have, and if you like arepas, I would like to know that. The next thing is empanadas. The best thing outside of chicharon to me when it comes to Medellin cuisine is empanadas. They're known as more being street food and things like that, which is really good, but it's more like a fried pastry filled with meat and potatoes and spices, and you can even get chicken in empanadas. You can do sweet stuff, like get some dulce, so some really good mix inside of empanadas. You can do anything with empanadas. I love it. My wife does a great job of making them. But needless to say, those are their bread and butter. Those are the top 3 things you can get in Medellin when it comes to food, that I would say. Now, the next thing that I was speaking to is Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, and let me just say, before I get too far ahead of myself, Colombia, I will give them a B- when it comes to food. B-. And I think I'm not being too generous with that. And compared to Latin America, in other places, yeah, I gotta give them a B-. Puerto Rico, I give it A+. No, Mexico would get an A+. Let's give Puerto Rico an A-. Okay, it's official, A-. There we go. But I would say Puerto Rico gets an A-. Why? Because they put a lot of thought, they put a lot of seasonings and sweet into their flavors. Their flavoristic. So good. You have the first thing, I would say mofongo. That is the famous sort of mashed plantain mix with garlic, and chicharon is even in a Puerto Rico dish, like the beef, and it's so good. You can do chicken, often served with seafood or different type of meats. Super delicious. Muy rico, muy rico. And then you have another thing really popular here in Puerto Rico is called lechon, which is basically roasted pork, a pig, typically served with, or during celebrations, when people celebrate parties, weddings, like you name it, anniversaries, like they're serving it, holidays, and it's super delicious, especially if you have the right sides with lechon. It's similar to, I would say, a taste of chicharon, poco. It's muy diferente, pero muy delicioso. And the next thing I would say is arroz con gandules. It's muy rico también. So there's rice, there's pigeon peas, like little peas with it, and there's a staple dish during, well, it's basically a staple dish during festivals that they eat. During any type of festival you go to will have this dish. But yeah, guys, it's super good, it's amazing, and that will seal it up when it comes to the food of Medellin versus the food of here in Puerto Rico. Now, you're gonna eat better. Let me just say this, 'cause I wanna make this disclaimer and make it really clear. I think overall, health-wise, way by far, when it comes to actual sustainable living, when it comes to food, Colombia is winning. Colombia gets an A+ for setting you up for success, to keep your body healthy and sustainable, all natural and no fried. Colombians aren't that big into fried foods like Puerto Ricans are, and that's why when you come to Puerto Rico, be ready to see obesity here. Just to be honest, be ready to see people who eat a lot, celebrate a lot, live the island life, have a fun. They're living in that moment, the vibe, and they get caught up in eating every day. But nothing against Puerto Ricans as a whole, but Colombia is set up for success because they overgo on fruits. There's fruits on every corner. You cannot bypass a fruit stand. But the problem is here in Puerto Rico, there's a fried sort of stand where you can eat fried foods on every corner versus a fruit stand. And exercise in Colombia is super important. Hard work when it comes to versus hardly working. A lot of people are looking at early retirement here on the island, which could be good because you sit back and chill and enjoy life. But exercise is not near as important, I feel, and I see here than it is in Colombia. In Colombia, you got gyms everywhere. You got people running the streets. The climate is better and more conducive for people who want to work out and run. So I think overall, if you're looking to get your health tight and right and not have the temptation to lay back and live this chill life where you're eating a lot and partying a lot and it's all more about festivities, I would say choose Colombia if you want to be more like, I know discipline is the key to both sides. You can come here and be very successful in fitness, but it's more difficult to live the lifestyle you may want to live here in the island life versus out in Medellin, Colombia, where it's sort of given that you work hard. And then number two, there's too many hills to not be moving your body. Like, you gotta move in Medellin. You gotta walk up hills. There's a lot of things. And even the way transportation is set up, here you have cars. Out there, some people have cars. A majority of people walk to their destinations. Tons of people walking outside. So there's a lot of little factors playing into your health and the food you consume and things like that. So yeah. And plus, and I'll say this and I'll be quiet about this one. Here in Puerto Rico, it's just like the States. Again, like, you're gonna see the same things you see in the States here. You're gonna see the Dunkin' Donuts, you're gonna see Krispy Kreme, you're gonna see, you know, Burger King, you're gonna see Wendy's, and pizza is all over this island. Like, you're gonna see food places everywhere that are fried fast food. Out in Colombia, you won't see that as much. Like, everything is, again, there's this like holistic, like, let's take care of our bodies, let's take care of ourselves, let's not stray away from natural. So like, I just love Colombia when it comes to food. So I think personally Colombia wins in this category for me, if you didn't understand what I was just saying. So guys, to my point, I was just talking to a guy who's actually native here to Puerto Rico, and he says jokingly, you live where no, I live where you vacation. And basically, essentially we were having a conversation. He ends up saying, listen, we're always on vacation here. So as true as that can be, like, wow, like we're doing it out here on the island, living the island life. It's a lot slower, less intentional about different things that you would be really intentional about living in the Medellin. Like Medellin inspires you to really work because you got kids out on the corner working. You know, you have old men that are still doing their thing with the little pop-up shop underneath their home in their garage. They turn into a store and things like that. So you have everyone with this like work mentality there, but it's super motivating. It's not in a bad way. Here is more like, no, we're chill, we're laid back. We walk everywhere, we wear sandals every day, we wear shorts every day. So we even go in stores with our shirts off. You know what I'm saying? And it's a good thing, but if you're looking to progress and maybe grow something, build something that's really meaningful, this may not be the place for you. Medellin or somewhere like it may be a better place for you, because it will get you inspired to look out and see the city life and the people in a super alive city. Here is más tranquilo when it comes to rest, descansa, like spending time with your loved ones and feeling more like I'm on a vacation. So that's the big difference pertaining to that. But yeah, what I love about, you know, Medellin is people don't get angry and upset about their work. They actually find joy in what they're doing. In the United States, that's different. You have some people who are working, which I love my country, but you have some people that are working hard. They're working their fingers to the bone and showing up every single day, but they hate themselves, they hate their lives. Some of them are, you know, suicidal, things like that. And there's things that cause people to go irate and mental health to deplete. And I just want to say, guys, let's live a life that is open to the God who created us. Like, he is the purpose for everything, no matter where you live or what you do. Let all be done unto the glory of God, whether you're eating or drinking, the Bible says. Like, if we just can come back to that, we will be able to not live on the extreme of vacation or the extreme of work, but we'll be in the perfect place, a balanced place, a place that glorifies God, you know, living our lives unto his glory, and he'll guide us and lead us in what we need to do every single day to live a purposeful life. So listen, your life is not about you, it's not about me, my life is not about me. We're about serving God, serving people, laying our life down so others can experience life. All right, guys, in peace and joy. Let go. Come on. All right, guys, here on the last part of the video, let's talk overall vibes. Y'all like this background here? Love it, love it. Butterfly. All right, so here in Puerto Rico, the vibes are a bit different than Medellin. It definitely gets, I would say, from an entrepreneurial standpoint and like a sort of content creator slash father, like the vibes here will get probably a B+, because the reason I say that is because I'm in a season of life I have to stay punctual and I have to work hard and really stay prudent and consistent in work. Because of this island vibe, yes, it's an amazing place to be. It's amazing and vibrant and full of life. I don't think for me it's the best fit when it comes to the vibe, because it's a lot slower and chill. And I love the chill life, especially between Friday and Sunday, but it really can hurt you Monday through Thursday when you really want to get in the weeds and work really hard. So for me, my personal preference is that the vibe is too laid back. That's what I would say. It's definitely family friendly though. I mean, I'm talking beaches, rainforests, hikes, historical sites, and the what do they call it? The bioluminescent tours. Like, it's tons of the stuff to do here. You would go crazy sitting in your house, because you know the fear of missing out is real in Puerto Rico. You know, there's so much for you to get out there and do, and opportunities for you to do that, but sometimes you have to turn everything off in the outside world and get focused on what you are faithfully called to do. For me, it's to work unto the glory of God and to serve God and be faithful and diligent in the work that I have, so I can leave an inheritance for my children and their children's children. That's what a blessed man does, and that's what I want to do. I don't want to get too chill, if that makes sense. So some of you will resonate with that. Share with me what your overall vibe preference is in the comments. But the second thing I would say is in Medellin, you know, I will start with saying Medellin, there's an urban yet nature feel to it, as you know, and there's a very innovative sort of mindset that comes along with living in Medellin. There's a modern elements, which is huge. Like, modern life is great. Like, you get the New York City vibes in some parts of the city, but you also have this traditional sense where things are very traditional, very old, and it's the perfect mix there of where you feel like you can be laid back and live a slow life because you don't have the pressure of all these crazy bills coming at you, but yeah, you can be generous and you can give. But while you do that, you also want to keep in mind that you are there to invest. You want to invest money with hopes for return as well. So it gives you an opportunity to really be innovative and really work your sauce, your entrepreneur sauce there. That's why I think the vibe there is much better, because it calls you up into like a greater work. And yeah, I think it's an incredible opportunity for anyone looking to move there as a young entrepreneur. The second thing I would say is very family friendly as well. There's parks, there's interactive museums, there's cable cars you can go on and have a lot of fun with your family up to Parque RV. And there's also scenic viewpoints. That's the best part, I feel, is like when you get to see the concrete jungle stuck in a forest. Like, New York is called the concrete jungle, but you're living in a concrete jungle within a forest. Is super inspirational to see the sort of viewpoints you get in Medellin. And I, again, would give it an A-. I would give it an A+, but again, no one is perfect, nowhere. So yeah, guys, so both Medellin, to conclude this video, both Medellin and Puerto Rico offer a rich cultural experience and delicious food, welcoming anybody who comes into it. But when you seek specific things, you want specific things in specific ways, there's going to be little dividing lines that keeps you either going to Medellin or going to Puerto Rico and vice versa. So choose wisely. And yes, get ready to have a lot of fun with your family and friends as you go and visit there. All right, guys, I'm gonna close out the video there. I think my wife is waiting on me. I've been spending a lot of time, you know, making this content, this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and make sure you subscribe. Write in the comments what other type of videos you would like to see. We have a lot more coming your way here soon, so follow the journey. Love you guys. Peace.